This audio overview was generated using AI for educational purposes by Carey Family Dental and does not replace a consultation with your dentist. So we're jumping right into our deep dive today, and imagine trying to chew a tough meal while balancing on a seesaw.
That is it's a pretty vivid way to picture it.
Right. I mean, that's kind of the biomechanical reality millions navigate every day with complete dentures. Today, we're looking at clinical literature on prosthodontics to understand how you convince the shifting living biology of your mouth to, accept a rigid static appliance.
Because it really is a massive physical compromise.
Exactly. Essentially, we are looking at a custom-built, removable architectural facade designed to replace all the living teeth in one jaw.
And like any facade, the first job is actually structural. We tend to think of complete dentures purely as chewing tools, but before they even touch food, they are restoring the foundational scaffolding of the lower face.
Yeah, that was a really fascinating takeaway from these sources for me. They actually provide crucial physical support for the lips and the cheeks.
They do, because without the teeth and that underlying bone, that facial tissue just collapses inward. So the prosthetic literally holds the face up.
Wow, so it actually maintains a much more natural, youthful contour.
Right, the aesthetic impact is immediate.
But wait, I have to push back on the mechanics a bit. If this facade is just, resting on top of the gums, how is anyone supposed to actually bite into an apple? Like, the physics of applying massive bite force to a loose piece of acrylic just don't seem to add up.
Well, honestly, they don't completely add up, and that's the major mechanical compromise here. Even under ideal conditions, your chewing efficiency with a complete denture is just never going to equal natural teeth.
Because it's not actually anchored into anything.
Exactly. Every time you bite, you are applying uneven force. And that force acts like a lever on the rigid acrylic, which inevitably causes the appliance to rock slightly over the gum tissue.
Okay, so if it's constantly rocking under bite pressure, it has to rely on something else to stay grounded, right? Like, I guess the combination of suction and saliva acting as a temporary hydraulic seal before you bite down.
You've got it. Stability relies entirely on the unique oral ecosystem that you bring to the table.
Meaning the specific shape of your mouth.
Right. The volume and density of your jawbone, the specific arch shape of your gums, and even the viscosity of your saliva. They all have to collaborate. If your salivary glands don't produce enough moisture, you don't get that hydraulic seal.
Wow. So if you don't have enough saliva, the appliance simply won't stay put, no matter how flawlessly it was manufactured.
It really won't. And because that ecosystem is biologically active, a perfect seal today won't be a perfect seal forever.
Right, because the bone and tissue in your mouth are constantly remodeling, which means you're essentially placing a static piece of engineering on top of shifting sands.
Which is exactly why the fit between the acrylic and your tissue is everything for retention. Because of those subtle, ongoing biological changes in the mouth, that precise fit has to be completely reestablished by a professional.
Gotcha. How often are we talking?
Usually every 2 to 5 years.
Wow, okay. And I'd imagine that constant shifting dramatically changes the day-to-day reality of wearing one, too. Like, the literature is very clear that you can't just leave a denture in around the clock.
No, definitely not. The tissue under there needs to breathe. The gums need a break from the constant physical pressure to, maintain proper blood flow.
Right, and to prevent things like fungal infections, which the sources mentioned.
Exactly. That's why the appliance must be left out while you sleep. And furthermore, since it's just a removable cover resting against the gums, food inevitably sneaks underneath the edges.
Which sounds really frustrating.
It can be. It requires constant removal and cleaning after meals to prevent severe irritation.
Which sounds exhausting for a lot of people. But the sources do outline alternatives if navigating that whole biomechanical seesaw isn't feasible for your lifestyle.
They do. You could look into dental implants, using them to anchor crowns, bridges, or even physically snap a complete denture into place so it doesn't rely entirely on a saliva seal.
Right. Or I guess the most basic alternative, leaving the mouth exactly as it is without a prosthetic at all.
Ultimately, the clinical literature emphasizes that a complete denture just isn't a set-it-and-forget-it product. It's a highly dynamic tool requiring a lifelong, active partnership between a rigid engineered appliance and your constantly evolving biology.
Which leaves us with this final thought to ponder. When you replace natural teeth with a prosthetic, you aren't just losing the physical root in the bone.
Right, there is a massive sensory loss, too.
Exactly. You're losing the periodontal ligaments, which contain the tiny nerve endings that tell your brain exactly how hard you are biting down.
It's a huge adjustment.
Yeah, like imagine trying to type on a keyboard with completely numb fingers. That's essentially the sensory reality of a complete denture. So the true challenge isn't just getting the facade to fit your mouth, it's retraining your brain to navigate a physical world without its built-in sensors.